Welcome to China Truths. In this episode, we will bring you the following story. China announces sudden import tariffs reduction following unfulfilled WTO commitments. Now, let's dive into the details. It's all covered in today's China Truths. China announces sudden import tariffs reduction following unfulfilled WTO commitments. Since joining the World Trade Organization, WTO, the CCP has consistently failed to fulfill its tariff reduction commitments. However, the CCP recently announced a significant policy change. Starting January 1, 2025, it will impose provisional import tariffs lower than the most favored nation, MFN, rates on 935 products. Experts suggest that this move is an attempt to navigate strained international trade and geopolitical relationships, while mitigating risks of sanctions targeting its trade practices. On December 28, the China's State Council Tariff Commission published the 2025 Tariff Adjustment Plan, which details the reduction of import tariffs on 935 products from January 1, 2025. The targeted goods fall into three primary categories: promoting technological innovation, safeguarding public welfare, and advancing green and low-carbon development. Technological innovation: import tariffs will be lowered on items such as polyolefin elastomers, ethylene vinyl alcohol copolymers, and automatic transmissions for specialized vehicles like fire trucks and repair vehicles. Public welfare: reduced tariffs will apply to substances like sodium zirconium cyclosilicate, viral vectors used in CAR-T cancer therapies, and nickel titanium alloy wires for surgical implants. Green development: tariffs on items such as ethane and certain recycled copper and aluminum materials will also be reduced. Additionally, the plan outlines tariff increases on select items, such as syrups, sugar-containing premix powders, vinyl chloride, and battery separators, citing changes in domestic industrial development and supply-demand dynamics. These adjustments remain within the bounds of China's commitments to the WTO. Analysis: reducing tariffs to ease trade tensions. Professor Sun Guoxiang of the Department of International Affairs and Business at Nanhua University, Taiwan, said on December 30 that China has faced long-standing criticism from the WTO and major trade partners over issues such as market access and subsidy policies. By partially honoring its commitments, China may seek to reduce the risk of sanctions against its trade practices. David Huang, a U.S.-based economist, commented that while China pledged to lower tariffs when joining the WTO, it has long delayed fulfilling these promises. He likened the recent policy change to buying a ticket after boarding the train, albeit belatedly. Huang explained that Beijing aims to alleviate international tensions and change its image as unreliable and non-compliant in trade matters. Currently, trade friction between Beijing and developed Western nations is severe, Huang said. China's proactive tariff adjustments are ostensibly aimed at optimizing its import structure to facilitate re-exports. This approach also eases downward economic pressure domestically while projecting an appearance of reconciliation with Western countries. Huang believes China is striving to improve its global trade reputation while securing advantageous positions in trade negotiations. For example, major exporters of recycled copper and aluminum, such as the US, Europe, Japan, and South Korea, are expected to benefit from China's tariff reductions, potentially fostering better trade relations. The decision to reduce import tariffs on recycled copper and aluminum has drawn particular attention. Sun Guoxiang observed, the policy reflects a dual purpose: fulfilling WTO commitments and responding to economic transformation and international pressures. Huang highlighted that China's tariff adjustments will influence global trade flows, commodity prices, and the distribution of goods. Countries exporting recycled copper and aluminum to China are likely to benefit, but this could also increase dependency on China for industrial products reliant on these materials. He warned that Beijing's strategic use of free trade agreements, FTAs, to expand its geopolitical influence could enhance its leverage in global supply chains and negotiations, particularly in Southeast Asia and beyond. Sun echoed these concerns, noting that China's tariff adjustments and push for FTAs could have far-reaching implications for global trade and geopolitics. Economically, the measures may diversify global trade patterns and strengthen emerging markets, but they also risk exacerbating supply chain fragmentation and competition. Politically, China is attempting to solidify its influence in developing nations and strategic regions, while intensifying confrontations with Western countries. In the long term, these moves reflect China's ambition to leverage economic influence for leadership in a multipolar international order, making the global trade system increasingly complex and competitive, Sun concluded.